Hey guys, welcome back. This particular video is going to be dedicated toward the art of cherry picking. And cherry picking, by definition, is simply buying something at a much bigger bargain than what the actual value of the item is. In this case, you guys know I'm into coins and currency, but it doesn't always apply to coins and currency. If you're a stamp collector, if you're into sports memorabilia, sports cards, that sort of thing, that also applies. And even it applies to, daily, everyday purchase of goods. For example, if I were to buy a pickup truck and a private seller was selling it for $15,000, fails to mention that it had four-wheel drive, and I bought it at a cheaper rate and got the four-wheel drive package, which is like a $2,000-$3,000 add-on. So that's an example of what cherry picking is. So cherry picking in numismatics is real simple, and in fact, the link that's going to be in the box at the bottom of the video that kind of highlights what the video is about is my new site dedicated to cherry picking. What's it about? How to get started, that sort of thing. And I think for a lot of the new people that are just going into the hobby or have been in the hobby will appreciate the wealth of knowledge that the website has to offer. Again, nothing's for sale. It's all information. It's all reference. And you're going to find that the material that I have in there, and I've already loaded it up with like 3, 4 articles. I got full color pictures of some finds and stuff to kind of get your cherry picking juices flowing. Because to give you an idea, last year I cherry picked for the most part a lot of cents, Lincoln Wheats, memorials. I even dabbled in some Buffalo nickels. And last year I've netted about $5,500 extra dollars in revenue, in profit by cherry picking certain dates, certain varieties of these coins. So I'm gonna go through a couple of pieces that I have found this year to give you an idea of what cherry picking is all about. I'm also going to discuss some of the tools that are going to be instrumental in making cherry picking a successful part of your hobby. So cherry picking, I cherry picked this 1970s small date, and I'm probably not going to get as close as I want to on this photo here to illustrate, a small date is, of course, a much more uncommon variety of this date. Typically, there's large dates. I cherry picked this out of a proof set, a 1970 proof set that was being sold at a local dealer. The gentleman had a large box of stuff that he was blowing out, and this particular proof set he was selling for $7. It was a little bit more of the expensive proof set because it does have the 1970s Kennedy half dollar, which is 40% silver. It's a lower production run as far as the mintage, but you have the opportunity of finding this particular variety in there. So what does this coin sell for? Well, let's see. I paid $7 for the proof set, so I pretty much stalemated on the price of the coins as if I had a large date 1970s Lincoln set. Okay, because this is a small date, this coin regularly sells for online, and you guys could check like eBay and all that for anywhere between $50 to $70. So not half bad. It's not a walk off home run kind of slam, but it feels pretty nice to know that I have this coin and all the other coins, the other 1970 S's in that proof set is just icing on the cake. It's all extras. So this is an example of a cherry picked. I cherry picked a uncommon variety 1970s small date cent out of a cheapo $7 proof set. For example, it comes in a government packaging like this. All right, and let me go ahead and open this to give you an idea of what the proof set may look like right there. It comes in this acrylic holder that's really easy to bust open. So, it's easy to look through this, bing, bang, boom. There are even proof sets where you could cherry pick a no mint mark dime. For example, a no mint mark Roosevelt dime in, I think, 1968 nets you about $500-$600. So that's another example of cherry picking. You buy a cheap proof set, and there are a lot of these out there, albeit they're a modern type of series. But if you need good material that you could cherry pick and then flip so you could buy some of the older stuff, that's definitely the way to go. Okay, so that's how that works with a proof set. Okay, another example of cherry picking for profit would be buying a coin such as this. This is a 1817 cap bus $half. Now this coin, in its condition is about $90. Okay, but one thing you gotta know is that there are rare varieties that comes with the cap bus series of $half. Knowing what rare varieties there are, and there could be any number of die pairings to make up a nice rarity, like an R5 or an R6, will dictate how much a coin can go for. So this one right here, I bought for $80. Okay, I bought it off a traveling dealer here in the Bay Area, and he's not into varieties or attributions. This one is actually a nice Sheldon R3, which is a rarity 3, and there are I think 400 or 500 known examples of this particular variety. Okay, and it might be just like a little die crack right here that attaches from the denticles of the rim to the cap, and that's the diagnostic for this particular not Sheldon, Overton. Sorry about that. This is an Overton. I forgot what the number is, to be honest with you, but there are websites and books that are dedicated to attributing coins such as this, along with the early large cents. You get into Sheldon and Breen and everything else. And there are people who are dedicated to collecting the Cat Bus series by variety, and they're really good at cherry picking them off of like eBay or a dealer stock. Whatever type of avenue you have to go through to cherry pick something, please do so. So that's another example of cherry picking for a much higher profit margin. This coin in an R3 in that condition is now worth about $125. So I made a few extra dollars on that one. Another example of cherry picking. You know me as being the weedy cent guy. I purchased 2,000 here a couple weeks ago, and that's what I've been going through, on my spare time the last few weeks. Again, I've kind of toned it down a little bit as far as, collecting and being in a hobby. I wanted to recharge the batteries, but you could cherry pick wheat cents, and I guarantee you go on eBay and see these unsearched wheat lots, these bags with 5,000, 10,000. I guarantee you they're not completely searched out, because you could find, for example, I went through half of the 2,000. This is about 1,000 coins right here, and I have another bag with 1,000 in it, and I found some of these nice repunch mint mark varieties. Okay, here's the 44D over D, 53D over D, 53D over D, 57D over D, and I can't get close in. You need a 20 times power magnifier, which is something important to use for cherry picking. 56D over D, 57D over D, and again on my website I'll cite examples of a repunched mint mark, and there are nice blown up photos on there for you to see. 57D over D, but anyways, there's a 58 triple D. Okay, that's a nice variety repunch. 58, there's another triple D, 58 DD, 38, and a 56. So I found all these out of 1,000. Right here, I probably have about $60, $70 in coins off of something that I originally purchased for $50, $60. So that's another example of cherry picking. So some other examples of cherry picking is going through your pocket change, finding something that you've paid face value for, and then coming to find out you actually saw a 1995 double die set in there that you've found, and now you have a $25 coin that you've paid 1 cent for. Same with currency. Currency, especially in the 1928 and 34 series of notes, especially in the 10s and 20s and 5s, there are mules. Okay, they use different die plate or different printing plates for the back and front sides of the bills. So if you have, say, a $10 1928 Federal Reserve note with a small plate number on the front, but yet the back plate has a large number, that's what they call a mule. They've actually combined different plates to create that specific note. So that, in a nutshell, is cherry picking. And again, for more information on cherry picking, I have a full dedicated website. All you have to do is click at the bottom over here in the resource box where I do have the link. Please take some time, examine, read the material. I'm going to be adding more and more stuff as we go. If you'd like to see any sort of specific subject in the cherry picking that you want me to write about, please send me a private message. I'd be more than happy to put something together. It's been kind of a passion of mine because I'm looking to beat my $5,500 that I made last year for 2012, and I'm well on my way. I got a lot of nice stuff, and I've, to be honest, I probably made $1,000 this first couple months of the year. It's hard to believe we're in March already. But thanks again, guys. Check out the site, the link's at the bottom. And if you have any questions, again, I am open to any sort of discussion that you may want to have. Enjoy your evening, and I'll talk to you soon.